What's up YouTube, I'm just another guy and welcome back to the Welsh Way here with Aberystwyth Town. So we've won the Premier Division once more, which is the third year in a row now and the fourth time in our history, in only our sixth season as well. That's a pretty good record. We picked up the biggest overachievers at the season award yet again, just because we won the division when we were expected to finish second, and the biggest underachievers went to Bangor City, so at least for a change that wasn't TNS, like someone actually underachieved. They were expected to finish fifth, they finished seventh. At least that's some sort of underachieving, but still, it's not like anyone from the top half of the table is struggling in the bottom half. There's still, very fine margins, and still, the top teams are the top teams, bottom teams are the bottom teams. But anyway, top goal scorer went to Greg Draper, and top assist went to Ryden Davis. But the main thing was that we won the Premier League. We are progressing through to the Champions League again next season, which is some big news for that I have coming up in a second. What we're going to do though is look at the league table. So halfway through the season, it wasn't exactly comfortable at the top, but come the end, we had a 5 points gap difference between us and TNS, and it probably could have been a little bit higher, a little bit of a bigger margin between us two, but come the end of the season, I started to switch focuses away from the league table because of how far away we were from TNS, and more towards the cup competitions, which the only one you don't currently know about is the Premier League Cup title, so you'll find out about that one in a second. So 34 wins at the end of the season, one more than TNS, 5 draws and 3 defeats, 73 goals scored for, which is the second highest in the league, and 30 goals conceded, which is the lowest in the league. So very consistent defensively wise. Throughout the years, we've pretty much kept a constant 40 plus goal difference there, 41, 47, 42, 44. Our goal difference has stayed pretty constant since we started winning this division. So, I don't mind the fact we haven't scored as many goals as TNS, because defensively we've done enough to earn ourselves more wins. So, again, it's just us and TNS running away with this title now. Balor are still ahead of the rest of the bunch, but the margin between us and TNS and Balor, Royal, Port Talbot and Afin Lido, it's just massive. There's really no other competition in the league. So, the only way I think that the whole league itself can be improved, not just my team, is if we start improving the ranking of this division. And it's actually been done. We have now improved the ranking of this division enough to where we will now enter the Champions League at the second qualifying phase, which is absolutely massive. We've reached the second qualifying phase now for every year that we've been in the Champions League. We did it this year, we did it last year. We did it our first year in the Champions League. So every year we've been in the Champions League, we've gone to the second qualifying phase. And really for the past 2 years, we've had an opportunity in which we could have gone through. At that stage, we looked like we had a chance of going through in the first leg against Lek. The year before that, we really should have beaten Nika in the second qualifying round. If it wasn't for the away goal and it wasn't for a foolish penalty given away by Rhys Devlin, we would have got through to the Champions League third qualifying phase. So we're doing very well. The league itself has gained in its reputation, which we jumped above, I believe it was Azerbaijan in terms of our qualification places. It was Azerbaijan, yes. So we jumped above them, which earned us our second qualifying phase. But still, what I really want to do now is try and grow to the next reputable stage where we can actually earn teams in our division higher qualification entry stages. So I'm not sure how this is going to work because of the way the league is set out. There has to be a Europa League playoffs stage, a European playoff stage. I don't know whether that would, whether we could get, 4 Champions League spots in this league. I doubt that highly, but I'd really like to reach a stage where we can have, at least a team qualifying in the second phase, or maybe even 2. That'd be incredible. Because that way, other teams in the league, and not just the team getting into Champions League football, will be able to pick up a decent amount of funds from the European competitions, and then that way the whole league itself is seeing a benefit from the extra money, not just the individual like it is currently right now, and which it is with me. I'm just seeing the benefits. The league itself can see some benefits. I think the quality of players in the league has improved, and in fact, a lot of our players who have been released in the transfers have gone on to play for. Gareth Noble is a bad example. Is it Alan? No, at least gone on to play football at another level. So the ones I can't see there, but I've seen a few names pop up that have played for teams in the Premier League in the past. A few of them play for Kevin Droids. I know that for a fact. Let's point one out for you. I actually don't see one. Every time I go to point out something, alright, let's try and find someone that has played. So I know Portsmouth Dog, I think, have a few of our players in their team. Don't, is that Les Davis? It is. Sorry, just being distracted. I think Gareth Morgan was a ex-player of ours. No, it's Port Talbot. Yeah, we'll just give up searching. So, but you know what? I want to see benefits of the league, not just myself, because ideally I want to get the Welsh Premier League, you know, as one of the highest reputable leagues in the league, not just one team, not just me. So yeah, that is a massive, you know, boost in the team. The fact that we're doing so well now, and we can consistently do pretty well. So it's going to be a massive year next year in the Champions League. Hopefully we can get a decent team. Hopefully we can progress past the second qualifying phase for the first time in our history. And I think what would be probably the first time in the Welsh Premier League's history as well. I'm not too sure about that, whether Barry Town did that before they went out of, before they became extinct. But I think next year's Champions League is going to be a very good year. So let's go to transfers. I kind of just looked at this a second ago, but we're going to skim through this very, very quickly. So you already know about the 3 players in. The only other guy we brought in was Bobby Pountree. I don't really know how to say that. I don't really care, because he's a backup player. He's from TNS. English player from TNS, I don't know, maybe they have a very good youth system. I've not seen an English guy come through my ranks yet, but TNS have an English left back. Picked him up just because Jacobson was released. I mentioned that last episode. So we really just had to bring a left back in. So this guy's come in. He won't really play a lot. He's 20 years of age as well, so I don't really expect him to complain for at least a little while anyway, until, maybe a year or so he may step up and say, hey, I want to play first team football, at which point I'll release him. But, nothing yet, so that's fine. Anyway, the players out, which is a lot more players. So Gareth Noble went out on a free, didn't get first team football, wanted to leave, so I was happy to, let him do that. Same thing with Tristan Morgan, same thing with Charlie Hughes, and same thing with James O'Neill. Now, James O'Neill's a very good player for us, yes, but I just, I'm leaning towards more younger players now, and players that I feel have the potential to, be a lot better than James O'Neill. He had 2 great years with us, yes, sort of faded out, a few years back. Last year didn't have any appearances. This year's only had 3, so he's been released in preparation for next season, I should point out as well, because it was done, not too long ago, last month. So, big shame to see him leave, yes, but I kind of felt like I needed him to. I didn't want to keep him in the reserves. I just wanted to let him go out. But at least he's made an impact on the team. I mean, he's always going to be on the icons list. That's something that can never be taken away from him. So there's that. Elsewhere, we loaned out Gavin Thomas to Monmouth. 2 boys, Hartnell and Hamilton Davis, were loaned out to Ryle. They were both originally loaned out to Port Talbot, but because of the dispute with the manager, I had to call them back, and they've been re-loaned out. Stephen Middleton was loaned out to Bala, youngster, not before he could score against them as well, which is pretty good. He scored his only goal this season for us against Bala in the league, then went out on loan to them a few days later. Now, Ibrahim Farah, this guy is an absolute knob. Let's say it like that. He's a knob. It's two games in a row he spoke about my team talks. And my team talks at the time, they weren't exactly the best team talks in the world, but they weren't the worst. I could have had a lot worse team talks. And he spoke out, to the press twice. I basically had to talk with him, said, hey, what's your concern? He said, I don't like your team talks. I don't think you're able to do team talks. I basically started questioning my ability as a manager. At which point I said, you know what, fuck you. So the relationship here between me and this player, it's gone. There is no relationship. And I basically have to get rid of him ASAP, because otherwise he's just going to disrupt the team morale, disrupt the team, and really just, there's no chance of salvaging this player in terms of the relationship. So he's on his way out. He's on loan to Colchester for the rest of the season. He was, which I'm surprised at. Why he's in this division, I don't know. If you can be playing for a League One team, I'd be jumping ship straight away. But I'm going to try and sell him for a bit of fun, see if I can pick up any money for him. At least that way we're gaining something out of him. If not, I'm going to loan him out, so all his wages being paid by another team. Because I just don't want him anywhere near this team. He's out of the country, that isn't, an added bonus for me. Elsewhere, Hugh Hartnell went out on loan. And then for the build-up to next season, all these guys will be playing for these clubs next year. So we have Griffiths playing for Prestatyn, Allen playing for Athen Lido, March playing for Bala, Bonner playing for Prestatyn, Smith going to Portsmouth Dog, and Hughes going for Monmouth. But elsewhere, though, we sold Stuart Watts for 2.2k, and this is the highest ever fee we have received for a player. Now, Stuart Watts' contract was running out at the end of this month, actually, so he didn't have long left on his deal, and I always planned I was going to release him at the end of the season. I just don't think he's a capable centre mid for us anymore. I feel we have better players, coming through the ranks. So When Bala came in and said we'll pay his fee, we'll pay his value price, which is 2.2k, I was like, whoa, where did this come from? Okay, then yeah, I'll more than happily accept that. So we picked up money for a guy that only had a week or two left on his deal, so I don't know what was going on there. I don't know why they'd pay money when they could pick him up on a free a bit later on. But highest of a fee we received for the club, and the first time ever we've been paid for a player, which is a bit of an historical moment there, which is quite surprising. But fixture-wise, let's go into the fixtures and let's try not to reveal how we did in the Welsh Premier League Cup right now. So, I don't know where I last met you off. I think it was the Portsmouth game. So after that, we beat Bala 3-0, Monmouth 2-0. Drawing to TNS, pretty good result though at the time. I didn't really mind at least we didn't drop points to them. That was the main thing. Disappointed to see though that Stuart Swat scored an own goal very early on in the game, giving them a 2-0 lead. So we had to fight back and really earn our result. After that, we beat Ryle 3-1 and beat Port Talbot 3-0, and that wrapped up the initial league season. We beat Baladen in the Welsh Cup 4th round, which of course we got on to win that, but it's still nice to see who we knocked out in the process. So Wyn James getting the only goal of the game there. Port Talbot picked up our second defeat of the season against them there. Sinan James ended up coming on off the bench and picking up a consolation goal in the process, but still disappointed to see that, you know, a defeat to Port Talbot, we really should be beating them. I mean, there's no real reason for that anymore. And after that as well, we conceded another 3-goal spell against Ryle and had to fight back and earn a 3-3 draw of a 92nd goal for Eddie Hislop. Really, really tough games here. And the reason for this was because Jason Brown had to come in, our backup goalkeeper, and he's our under-21 manager. He also does all the training for coaching and now tactics as well. I've tried to move him over. And a very experienced goalkeeper. You know, he's played at decent levels before, especially since the game has started, because in real life he's a backup. But in the game he's played in the Scottish Championship, League 1, League 2. So when I put him in, I was expecting just an easy, you know, transition as a goalkeeper. He'd be a very good goalkeeper, I presumed, you know, especially since reports and things like that have suggested that he's better than my current goalkeeper, and I'm always being suggested to put him into the first team. So when I finally put him in, he made a lot of mistakes in the Port Talbot game. He was actually at fault for 2 of the goals in the Ryle game. So that's not exactly the best time for me to face up against TNS, but he had a much better game there. He made loads of good saves, and in the end picked up a 2-1 victory against TNS, which was a very nice result indeed, and actually one that I'm quite surprised at, considering how we done in the previous 2 games. So good, all 3 points to pick up there. Following that, we beat Afin Lido 3-0, beat Ton Prente, a team we've faced before in the Cup, 2-0 in the Welsh Cup quarter-final. After that, we beat Bala 4-2, nice dominant victory there, and also got a little bit of revenge on Port Talbot, beating them 2-1, before Ryle yet again caused us problems and actually beat us for the first time in probably a long time, and also gave us our 3rd defeat of the season. So again, no real excuse for that anymore. We really should be doing a lot better there, and just wasn't really at our game. After that, we beat Afin Lido 3-0, went back to winning ways. Beat Ryle as well 4-1 in the Welsh Cup semi-final, putting us through to the final, scoring all 5 goals in that game as well, with an own goal from Hugh Griffiths. After that, we beat TNS one more time in the league, and for the last time in the league this season, with Wyn James getting both the goals there, earning us a 2-1 victory. Then came the Premier League Cup final, and sadly we lost that 3-1. And which means we didn't get a treble this year. So if you ever see a Welsh Cup final again being live commed, you know it's for the treble. Hopefully that'll be next year, though. That'll be really nice to win a treble next year. But we have done, you know, we've managed to beat TNS in the Cup later on in the year, but still we should have won this game. Once Nigel Hamilton-Davies had scored that goal and given us our slender 1-0 lead, we should have just held off and defended. But we allowed Sean Stanley to score in the 86th minute, forcing it to extra time, and then the second half extra time, I don't know what, but we just fell apart, and they managed to pick up 2 goals, and we were going all that attack once they made it 2-1, and I think that allowed them to score the 3rd, so didn't really deserve to win the game, but once we scored that first goal, we should have won it, and we'll have to wait another year, which is 4 years in a row now. TNS are beating us in this final, so we need to, you know, do a lot of improving in that cup competition next year. Last league game of the season, we beat Bala 1-0, and of course you already know the Welsh Cup final, we won 3-2 in extra time, 121st minute goal for Wyn James. It was a really nice victory to get. So, could have done better this year, definitely lost a few too many games for my liking. I lost a game very early on, which is something that isn't really normal for the team. But still, a good year. Hopefully, we won't be too far away from, going through a whole season undefeated, in which case the league will just become, standard for us. We won't really have much competition. So let's go into the leagues, the awards for the league. So Player of the Month, we picked it up 3 times with 3 different players. And as a result, we didn't actually get Player of the Year. It went to Elliot Durrell for the 2nd time in his career. He picked it up a few years earlier. Disappointed not to see my player win that. I think Luke Edge was one of the hot candidates to actually win that. He won the Player of the Month in October as well, and he was really expected to go through and have a real good chance of winning that. But just for some reason that didn't amount to anything. He didn't win it. And I even did a little snide trick where, because you can vote for Player of the Year in this division, you get 3 votes, first, second, and third. First picks up 3 points, second picks up 2, and I think third picks up 1. I voted for the guy least likely to win as first, and I did it from reverse order, basically, on average match rating. But still, Elliot Durrell won, and I don't even think he was favourite. I believe there are players with better average match rating, better goals, more assists. There was no reason he should have won this award. I don't know how he keeps winning them, and I don't know how some of these players keep winning them, because throughout certain years, some of these players haven't exactly been favourite to win it, and yet they still pick up the awards. And it's really frustrating to me. Manager of the Month, we picked up 3 times, and of course we ended up going on to win that award because, well, we won the league, and whoever wins the league pretty much wins this award. Team of the Season now. 2nd year in a run, and we've been dominant in this award. So Whitehouse picked it up, McGuinness, Hamilton Davis, Fraser, Luke Edge, Ryden Davis, and David Hislop. Very good to see all of our, most of our key players getting in there. Shame Hugh Griffiths didn't get in Team of the Season. We had, a consistent back 4, always in Team of the Month, but his average match rating just wasn't high enough. But still, Joe Lynch, 21 games, 2 goals. In comparison to Hugh Griffiths in this game, 32 games, 4 goals, 6.98 average match rating, 6.95. Why is he not in there? What? That's bullshit. David McCormick, 22 games, 5 goals, 6.98 average match rating, centre mid. We'll go to our best centre mid performer, Viv Gunter. 25 games, 4 goals, 7.15 average match rating. Why is he not in that Team of the Year? Bullshit. It just doesn't make sense. I understand Greg Draper. No disputing Elliot Durrell. But why are we not got our centre back and centre mid in there? That's bullshit. That is really bad. That's frustrating. Top goal scorers, he came 3rd in, David Hislop. Good to see he's in and around that award still, but yet to actually win it. And I think his highest ever goal scoring year was, I think, this year, where he scored. Actually, no, it wasn't that year. It was this year with 27 goals. I believe he got his highest ever goal tally. Still, that wasn't enough. So, yet to actually win this award, so hopefully we won't be too far off that. And Young Player of the Year returned to Aberystwyth with Luke Edge picking this award up, and at least he got recognition for a very good year that he had this year. 2 years in a row now, he's been incredible. Real shame that he's got a long-term injury. He's currently out with damaged crucial ligaments, and he's out for a long time, so I don't think he'll ever be the player that he could have been with that injury, especially since his development stage is now going to be approaching its end when he comes back. It's just a real shame about that injury, and it's just one of them things, in football that happens. You get a bad injury, sometimes the career never is the same. But at least we're getting recognition again for our good youth players. So, what we're going to do very quickly is have a look at the Welsh awards, because Luke Edge was considered for the Young Footballer of the Year in Wales, with Aaron Ramsey, John William, and Joe Allen picking up Footballer of the Years there. No Gareth Bale for the first time since I actually looked at this as well, why he didn't pick this award up. He's been dropped from the Real Madrid squad. That 85 million transfer was really worth it for, 5 years worth of service. That makes sense, spending all that money. I mean, God, if all teams spent like that, they'd be absolutely financially sound. It's just stupid. And I was surprised to see Joe Allen at Shakhtar Donetsk. I could never see a Welsh player going out to play for Ukraine. It's just something you don't really see nowadays in football. The UK players spreading their wings and going out to, leaving the nest really and just going out to play for foreign teams. But Young Player of the Year, we didn't pick it up, and Luke Edge was, apparently, again, hotly tipped to win this award. He was, at least I expected him to be placed, but he wasn't. And I don't understand why. So I looked at Tom Person. It says he plays for Liverpool, but that's a lie. I think he made 2 appearances for Liverpool this season, which he did, yeah. The rest of the year he was at Ipswich. So Ipswich League 1, okay, that's a good league. It's obviously a better league than us, but does that really deserve, with that average match rating, considering most of these appearances were at Ipswich, does he deserve that award? I don't think so. Now, Harry Wilson, he played for Rangers all this season. And all this year, this calendar year, he played for Ipswich as well. He probably deserved the award, and I don't get why he didn't win it. And then Daniel Holmes, I thought, well, he's got shit average match rating. Again, why is he not playing? But Sheffield Wednesday are a Premiership team, and he's played a lot of games in the Premiership this season, as well as Preston North End last year in League One. I'd say he probably deserved the award as well. So why Tom Person wins this award? I believe they're rigged. A lot of these awards, I believe, are just rigged, and certain players are expected to win them in certain years. So I think we're still miles off trying to win this award, despite the fact we've come, we got second and third the year before that. We got third the year after before that. We got second the year before that as well, and we got third the year before that. So despite being featured for the previous 4 years, we didn't get featured this year. So still I think we're miles off winning this, which is really disappointing to say. I just want to kick on this guy quickly. He's 30 years of age now. And he was Young Player of the Year at one point. Look at that, Jason Brown, our keeper, was Young Player of the Year in Wales in 2003. 16 years ago. And Robert Earnshaw is retired. Oh, what a shame. But, bit of major news as well. We are currently being in the process of a takeover. Maybe if you saw this when I flicked on the screen earlier, but we are in the process of a takeover. The owner has said, though, the chairman, I should say, sorry, has said that he will only pass the club down to one of his directors. So, the club is being kept within people already here. So either Donald Kane, Emran James, Hinton Jones, Evans, or Davis will become my new chairman. And I don't really mind that, because I feel that will keep my job safe. And I don't, if we're selling, or if a new guy's coming in to the squad, as in like a new, whatever, a local businessman or something, I could be, my job could be under threat, which I highly doubt, considering I'm an icon, I believe now. I don't want to chat shit. I am an icon, yeah? Yeah, I am an icon. I don't think I'd be sacked if a new guy come in, but we could find suddenly investments aren't being made. The guy's very stingy or something. I think if we keep the directors here, I'm still going to get my way in terms of trying to become this or that. I think the only real positive is trying to get a new owner is if I get a billionaire basically, and he comes in and says, right, we're going professional, I'm giving you loads of money to spend, things like that. That's the only real positive thing I can see from a takeover. Otherwise, I just really want everything to stay the same. I don't really want anything to change. So, I still don't think it will affect the club too much, so there's nothing to really worry about there. Elsewhere, something I forgot to mention, click on while I was at the Wales, we are now considered the highest reputable team in Wales, which is incredible when you really think about it. And also the club coefficients, we are actually officially the best team in Wales with our coefficient points from European competition. So that is great. That's a really good thing to see. I can officially say we're the best team in Wales. Well, from the Welsh division now. Not exactly in Wales, because I'm sure Cardiff would batter us. But I wonder if they could actually do that. I don't know, I thought maybe if I, put others, when we would see Cardiff and Swansea in there, because I'm sure they have some sort of coefficient points and things like that. But it's good to see that, we're up there now. And hopefully next season we'll be doing very well, and hopefully widening our gap on TNS. And we are also the richest club in the league, which comes with Champions League football, of course. So TNS, I don't understand how TNS pay all this money for their players still. I think the highest wage player of TNS is like 1k per week, 1 point something k per week. Yet they're only valued at 95k. And if we go into the league and we go into the rules, I thought it said how much money you get for finishing. Yeah, you get 12.5k for finishing second. So that guy's yearly wage is going to be more than second place is being given to them. So their owner must be so rich, so willing to, make a loss every year just to try and keep the club professional and keep them trying to win the league. And we're just putting them to shame with our average thingy salary per annum, which is still pretty small in comparison to TNS. And in fact, it's only the third largest in the league, which is very, very good. So let's look at our team very quickly and we'll wrap this episode here. So, top performers in the league were Ryan Davis, still proving his, ability. And he's actually now a legend at the side. I don't think I mentioned that either. He's a legend at the side now, Ryan Davis. Incredible when his ability rating has always been half a gold star. It defies all logic. Hamilton Davis has been great this year as well. Gary McGuinness really has stepped up as well. Played a lot better than he did in his last season. It's good to see, the experience is kicking in with his team now and his youngsters. Alan Fraser's 5 caps for the under-21s team. He's probably, most likely to be playing for Wales at one point in his career from this squad. Hopefully we can turn professional soon and he can benefit from that. It's best season so far as well in the league. David Hislop still a beast when it comes up front. Luke Edge has played incredibly well as well. Top goal scorers though, David Hislop, 27 goals, and Wyn James as well, picking up 18 in his first full season at the club. Which, okay, it's only 8 in the league with 7 assists, which isn't the best goal scoring record, no, but I'm trying to develop him into the team, and I feel next season he'll do a lot better. And well, hopefully I'm going to see results next year. A few more, goals in the league, and less than maybe in the cups and things like that. I don't really mind about the cups, who scores in them. Luke Edge as well scored 11, and Hamilton Davis from the set piece banged them in with his head, along with Hugh Griffiths as well. So really, it's quite weird to see the 2 strikers. That's normal. The wingers are normal, but then the 2 centre backs are our top 5 goal scorers. That's a little weird. Assists come from the left, right, and the 2 strikers, as you would expect, and that's been pretty normal now for the past few years at this side as well. They've all come from the front 4 in the tactic. Assists have come from Luke Edge. Player of the matches, player of the match award. Luke Edge topping that with 8 player of the matches. David Hislop closely behind, and a few players gotten 6 and 5 as well. So really, these 5 guys have had a great year, all year round. And Nigel Hamilton-Davis as well is a surprisingly good year going forward with the ball. Did we pick up a red this year? I don't think we did, no. Wait, did we? No, we didn't pick up a red card this season, all season long. That's a very nice record to have, and to hold, really. As my mouse decides it wants to keep playing up on me. So I think that's about a suggestion that we should probably end this episode soon. So, look at the player values quickly. Alan Fraser is only valued at 3.5k, despite the fact he's one of the, fullbacks always in the under-21 squad, and he will be in the Welsh under-21 squad now for the next 3 years. So why his value so low, I don't know, but I think for the first time really ever we've had a load of players over 2k, so progression is being made on that front. And what you're seeing here is a little sneak peek at what the team may be next season. I'm not sure yet. The reason Kevin Blunt is in there is because McGuinness has picked up a little bit of a long-term injury. I think he's out for 2 more months. No, sorry, that's a completely wrong thing. He was out originally for 2 months with a knee ligament strain, but he'll be back soon. Also, as well, we are seeing a new right mid come in, Gavin Davis. He will be playing right mid whilst Luke Edge is out with his long-term injury. But I'm still not decided on my left mid. Ryan Davis is a very good player, but I feel like we may need to bring in another left mid, because if he's doing very well, imagine I bring Carrier in. 15 years of age, better rapport, better potential, because obviously that potential is rubbish. He's 23, he's not going to develop anymore. Well, his development has slowed pretty much to a halt, so that development is never going to happen. So if we can get Carrier playing, I feel he could do very good things from the left. We could see him match Luke Edge, or maybe even better Luke Edge, and he's only 15, so his development period is going to be a long time yet, which could mean his potential again could be rubbish. It could be a lot better than that. So I'm not too sure yet. I have Ibrahim Farah in there as centre mid, but that's a lie. That's going to be he's on his way out. There's no way of rebuilding that relationship. He's going to be out of his club ASAP. And also as well, I think I'm going to be playing youngster Drake in the upcoming games. Only young, 3.5 stars, star Premier League side. We've been predicted to improve a lot in the future, which means we could have 2 very young centre backs, but on the bench we would have, these 2 guys who are absolutely pros, and probably should be playing, but I want to see these youngsters and see how they can go and see how they can develop. And who is Hugh Griffiths wanted by? Falkirk and St Mirren. Maybe have a tricky time keeping him over the summer. But this is going to be it for now, guys. If you enjoyed the episode, make sure you give it a like. Also, Happy New Year's. I completely forgot to mention that at the start of the episode. That's just typical. I forget something. So yeah, Happy New Year, guys. Hope you guys, have a fantastic year in the future, in this upcoming year. Hopefully, all your dreams come true and all that crap. All your targets that you set for yourself come true. Whether that is in schoolwork, getting a grade, whether that comes in work, getting a promotion, whether that comes in getting that girl or boy, whatever your preferences are. But Happy New Year, guys, and again, if you enjoyed the episode, make sure you give it a like. Tomorrow, which will be the 2nd, I will be uploading the Champions League stages of this, because I've already pre-recorded these. I already know who I've got, but I'll keep that a secret for you guys. But yeah, I will be uploading the Champions League stage of this, and if that gets 5 likes, I will continue to upload the next part after that. So you have a goal to set for tomorrow. 5 likes and another episode will be there. So until next time, guys, peace out.